of setting themselves up for success. However, can they step up against the best North America has to offer? We know roughly where they stand, but it's against those big three that they've really always struggled.
Yeah, it's the difficulty. A lot of us peg them as number 4 right now. Battle that they're basically going up against in later today. I think they play Rogue, I think, for that spot pretty much. And that tiebreaker is going to be huge for them, but it does start here. They play teams that I guess kind of go down in the aspect of difficulty throughout the rest of the season, but for them, CLOUD9 has always been one they've had troubles with.
I think CLOUD9's been one that everybody
has troubles with.
North
Clearly
America
with the stats, but it's just one of those situations where they do have one stat in their favor, and it is save differential. They cut it off at the midfield really well, but I think a lot of the reason why they have that stat ahead is because they haven't had to play CLOUD9 yet. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm looking at this game, and I'm looking at play styles. A lot of teams in North America are scared of trying to move forward to CLOUD9. CLOUD9, the only losses they really have are against European teams, and those are the teams that are happy just to go, oh, infield passes? Okay, but you need to control the midfield for that. We're going to get forward and try and challenge you. Evil Geniuses need to take a page out of their book and just say, right, we're going to move forward, we're going to challenge you, we're going to keep up with your pace, because the moment you concede the bottom 2/3 of the fields to CLOUD9, you're done. They need to get up there, they need to get in front of CLOUD9's face.
Something that may help them with that is their demo play. Expect to see it come out of Chrome and Classics to hopefully deny stuff. Something we see a lot against this CLOUD9 team is demos on Torment, receiving 53% of the team's demos. So the players know that back man is a dangerous one.
Corrupted G can start this off absolutely perfectly. He's been up in competition with Gimmick over the past few seasons for that top goal scorer. I'm sure he's more than willing to have a shootout with him today.
Great way to kick it off for Evil Geniuses. Basically gives them an extra life here.
Keep that pressure going though. Perfect start there for Evil Geniuses. Now Chrome coming off the kickoff once again. Evil Geniuses, they have got a plan in their back pocket. They are absolutely destroying off that kickoff, and C9, they will be forced to make adjustments as we move forward in this series, but now we've moved into neutral play. Evil Geniuses still with the offensive pressure. Chrome back flipping, and now he's got Corrupted G up behind him, so he can start moving forward. Trying to take the ball. Gimmick. Taking all the way down, gets it all the way past. Corrupted G forced to clear. It's dangerous going for those attempted clears on the walls up against C9. That's their favored passing spot. When they do end up going for infield passes, Corrupted G just belts the ball off. Rogue takes an early shot. Could potentially try to put off the backboard, really set up the rest of his team for an offensive chance. Is starting to be put further and forward on the defense. Classics gets a small bump. It's going to allow Evil Geniuses to potentially keep control of the ball, but instead they back off. Gimmick puts off the backboard. Squishy with the follow-up. No contest! You have got to get up there because Squishy will score those every time.
Just a difficult situation. Classics doesn't go up there because he has no boost. So does the right thing in that circumstance. He just goes to the net. With only about 11 or 12 sitting in there. Need to expect that from this CLOUD9 team, using that backboard if it's wide open. He's right in front of the net, all tied up. That extra life is now gone.
Once again, Evil Geniuses have control immediately as the kickoff. Might drop all the way down. Corrupted G going for some heroics of his own, but now he's going to be forced to rotate all the way back. Finds himself one-on-one with Squishy. Effectively just hands over possession. Here's Torment now. Gets it to Gimmick. Gimmick almost managed to get it over to Squishy. With an incredibly creative passing play. Squishy goes for the horseshoe. Might take us the entire way. He's only got Classics to beat, and it's not even an object. Squishy picks up his brace.
Really well done by Squishy there. He gets a pass while moving back to his own net, but then is able to dribble all the way back around while picking up boost simultaneously. Up bringing it up on the net, doing it all on his own. So dangerous with passes, but can do it all on his own as well.
Just goes all the way around the world. Picks himself up his second goal of this match. Now Evil Geniuses after a perfect start. Find themselves trailing here. Classics all the way up, all the way down. Follow up there from Corrupted G. It's merely a glancing touch. Evil Geniuses, as difficult those plays are to really pull off, they've got to nail them. Their chances are going to be few and far between in this series.
It's going to be difficult as well. This Classics, the majority of his goals do come from that spot right in front of the net where he's able to cherry pick. But it's It's unfortunate as it transitions back down.
Evil Geniuses are constantly going for infield passes, just transition themselves off the wall, launching over to Classics, who is always waiting for them. Need to try and get that nailed down as soon as possible and get some goals from it, because C9, they will see that and they will start to shut it down. As soon as you get an eye for it, you start looking at the player off the ball. Much harder to get the pass over.
Interesting choice from Gimmick there to follow that one up. Actually flew right past the challenge in midfield.
More and more challenges from Evil Geniuses. Still a goal down. Heading into the final 2 minutes. Another clear follow-up was attempted, but 2 players behind. Cloud9 still in a solid defensive position right now. Classics thinks better. Going to allow Squishy, puts it over in the corner. Demo and Gimmick just off the camera. Incredibly crucial as well, because Squishy was looking for the pass. Those two have been the most effective duo in the North American Rocket League scene, and have only got better as they become closer and closer to vets. Gimmick all the way up high, going to try and look for the follow-up. Instead, Squishy taking over. I do like this right now from Cloud9, just try and commit as few players as possible, keep the ball up high. Really force EG to commit if they want to push this ball forwards. And you can see that effectively right now, Chrome 0 boost. I wouldn't be surprised if that applied to a lot of the players on Evil Geniuses purely because of how high the ball is.
Not only that, but they're also going for a lot of those demos. 3 already on the side of Evil Geniuses. It's one of those beneficial things. If they're not going to send that many up, you might as well remove the ones in the back. Could create an opportunity, as Evil Geniuses has actually done a relatively good job to keep this back within 1 despite all this pressure from Cloud9.
With how high they are lofting this ball, Cloud9 could honestly just be 1 boost steal away from really opening up an opportunity for themselves.
All it takes is 1 mistake, Shogun.
Could have very well been it as Chrome puts the ball straight into the body of the car. Corrupted G. First touch, I believe he watched Classics. He is going to eventually find him over to the side. The follow-up not quite there as Corrupted G wanted to go and grab the boost. Evil Geniuses, however, still in an offensive position. Classics looking for the dish, going to get it down. Corrupted G all the way up though. Gimmick just over the top. Cloud9 keep themselves calm. And they will remove the pressure. Torment takes the shot, and it will turn itself in. C9, incredible play there.
Talk about removing the pressure. They add another goal. But to hold off that issue, Classics again missing from that top left corner. That's twice now that they almost had the opportunity.
No double commits, no one low on boost, no danger on the side of Cloud9. Evil Geniuses, however, a couple of solid touches away from really turning this into a barn burner of a first match. But instead, Cloud9, despite going down to start us off, will be taking game number 1.
3 missed shots now on that top left corner. Shoot to the right, guys, and you might be all right. I don't know what's going on with that corner, but they need to figure it out. But still, Evil Geniuses, for a majority of the time, able to keep it close, despite spending quite a bit of time on defense. The best offense that we saw from them, Cloud9 was able to hold off. If you start mixing in a couple of demos with that, it could be very dangerous. Good start, but Cloud9 still coming out ahead.
Cloud9 looking solid in game number 1. We're going to be heading over to Urban Central in just a second, but both teams came with a plan. Evil Geniuses, they've clearly been practicing some kickoff strategies, made it work out very well to start us off. But as soon as Cloud9 managed to pull it back, take the lead, I love what they did. Just keep belting the ball long, keep everyone boosted up, and force Evil Geniuses to do all of the work at a disadvantage on boost.
Yeah, a lot of it just has to do with controlling that midfield. As soon as they got the ball, like you said, it was lofted up very, very high. It forces all these players on Evil Geniuses, if they don't have any boost, to sit in net, which created plenty of opportunities for Gimmick to set it up for his teammates. Or you're coming up on that back wall and you're having to use all that boost to get up in the air. And in that time, not only are you trying to spend boost to get out, but most of the time you're going to see someone like Squishy come in and take it from you. So really good opportunities coming and created by Cloud9 up on offense.
So as we head into game number 2, both these teams have had 60 seconds. See what they want to try and figure out and move forward with. Evil Geniuses, I want to see them go back to those passing plays over to Classics in the midfield. C9 hadn't quite taken that away from them yet. So there's still opportunities for them to really make something from that, and that was definitely their best creator of offensive chances. Gimmick just wanted to try and hit it on the negative angle. That was going to be incredibly difficult for him. Now Torment taking over. Touch isn't too strong, just going to go straight up to Classics. Evil Geniuses going to go for the demo play. Chrome, though, huge bump on him. Classics looks for defender, and C9 just taking out the best goal scorer on Evil Geniuses.
So well played by Torment as well. To be rotating back in, recognizes that pass coming across and just bumps him out of it completely. Just throws possession the other way. Just so creative as this Cloud9 team is. Squishy trying to get a shot.
Classics once again forced to respect. He's on 0 boost, now finally picking up sub. But because he was forced to go over there, the rotation was unable to settle in. And Squishy gonna turn this to a 1-0 game.
As soon as he misses that shot, goes to the top right corner and denies boost and swings right back in. The benefit that creates, that extra pressure, even if he doesn't score, there's a player already back on defense. Nothing that's gonna happen to trouble them.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw exactly why boost is so important in Rocket League. Classics, if he has more boost, he takes a much more direct route over to the ball. But instead had to try and factor in where the boost pad was on his way over to the ball, was unable to get into settle down for himself. C9 able to take advantage. Evil Geniuses try and play it long. No one really there to target. Another infield pass, Chrome this time. He was to try and look for Corrupted G, but instead the touch not quite good enough. Now Cloud9 on the offense. Crucial touch there from Corrupted G. I believe Chrome's touch will definitely set up his opponents. So he looks to try and play it long yet again. Cloud9 doing a much better job this time around of controlling the midfield. Coming to challenge with pace. Another infield pass. Might work out this time as Corrupted G opens up the scoring yet again for Evil Geniuses.
Giving it to the tried and true with that accuracy. See it plenty of times from Corrupted G. The last time they tried that pass was actually shut out by the defense of Cloud9. This time they find the connection. They tie it up. Evil Geniuses still staying in this one. Doing a good job of it. Fending off the offense. Able to transition it quickly back down to the other side as another one almost sneaking in.
Evil Geniuses need to keep this pressure up right now. They cannot afford to give up the midfield and the boosts that come with it to Cloud9. So many players at back right now. Chrome could be an option, but the first touch there from Classics just invites Squishy to move back over to the ball. Now Evil Geniuses with all 3 players back. This is exactly where C9 want them. They can try and squeeze out their opponents. Classics, though, wins the race. Can try and follow up. He's on 0 boost right now, but his opponents know that. As Torment goes for the ball, Classics can take the boost steal. Whether or not Evil Geniuses can build upon that, though, is looking pretty unlikely as Cloud9, despite having 1 boost stolen, have plenty of boost everywhere else on their team. Squishy looking to go over the top. Still all tied up as we head into the final half of this game. Big challenge there from Chrome. Pull-up will be from Classics. Evil Genius is pretty slow on the uptake at times. Another infield pass. Squishy recognizing though that he can take a shot from that one instead. Plays the long con. Classics levers a shot over. 2 players committed. Corrupted G invited to come in. Big demo as well from Classics. Gonna go over to Chrome, but there is Torment already there. No one back until finally Torment gets over. And not only that, he's found the passing play. That is how quickly C9 can transition. And they still have the offense. Evil Geniuses find themselves on the back foot.
You got to give credit though to Corrupted G. He recognizes how quickly these guys put shots on net. Catches that save in rotation, but a missed shot from Gimmick. Uncharacteristic from him.
Now Squishy up, he's gonna put that one in. And as good as Gimmick has been this season shooting, Squishy is having one hell of a profile for himself right now.
Just really well done, recognizes he can't go direct. So repositions it by playing it off the wall back to himself. Just that little bit extra time, even though he takes it, it does not matter. This is Evil Geniuses team under a ton of pressure on defense.
Now once again, Evil Geniuses find themselves down as we head towards the final few moments of the game. C9, they reacted to this by putting lots of ball up high last time, but now Evil Geniuses have got offense. They can turn this one straight in, off the post and in. Classics. Crucial goal.
What a pass play coming out. Classics and Corrupted G were working together on the last one where Classics got his 100th assist. This time they switch it up, avoiding that top left corner, and it goes in.
This is something that many teams are not willing to do against Cloud9, and that is leave players upfield. Now Chrome, straight off. He took the shot a little bit too early. But definitely controlled a little bit more. Big block. Follow-up will not be there. But just leaving players around upfield, give them so many more choices. means that they're not forced into a style of play where they're even forced to dribble or just belt the ball long if they want to try and clear the ball from the defensive half. C9. Double tap down from Toman, but he's just not able to reach it. Still all tied up as we head into the final 40 seconds. Corrupted G looks to be the target man, but Torment will take that away. Still, Classics has got Chrome in support, and he's going to take it off the double tap and puts it into the net.
Absolutely huge in 33 seconds here, but can they hold off? Again, Classics with another beautiful touch inside.
I don't know how much of that he knows about.
Still, he recognizes even if his teammate isn't there, it's a good idea. Because if he's not there, he's got to be back on defense. So he plays it inside, it works out. Can they hold on?
CLOUD9, big mistake. Might offer opportunity as Torment forced to retreat. He's on 0 boost, but now CLOUD9 can try and transition. Squishy though, low on boost, a position that he's not very used to being in. Shot though from Squishy, just not quite there. So we enter the final 10 seconds. CLOUD9 do have the ball in the blue side, but now they need to try and put something together. Torment, he chooses to go up high. Corrupted G looking to just try and clear before hits the floor. It will be over in that depth. That bump will be more than enough. One each.
Great way to do it. Plays it down in an open field. And even though Gimmick comes up to catch it, he recognizes he's the only one around. That bump shuts it down. The Evil Geniuses, again, the reason why they're so strong and able to take games like that is, man, do they spread those stats. Everybody involved all over the pitch.
CLOUD9, they are in for a fight this series. Only the second game they have lost all season long. I believe that puts them now up to 10-2, which is a pretty ludicrous stat when you listen to it. But Evil Geniuses, they are more than up for this, and I love the ideas they're coming up with. This is now turning into a case of, okay, you both have the right idea. Neither of you are going to back down on it. Let's see who can execute.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses has definitely been one of those teams. There's obviously recently some Twitter drama about scrims and stuff like that. Evil Geniuses is the one that's been absolutely on the grind, taking time to go to the Xfinity training facility for 8 days, you know, just doing whatever they can with the help of their coach Fireworks to just get on the grind and stay focused, you know, just trying to stay off social media, just making sure as much as possible that their eyes on the prize. And at this point, is trying to go for a land spot. They have the ability, as their only game they've lost this season so far was to G2. And even that one went the distance, so can't count these guys out.
Absolutely, as this is their second time of asking, going up against the top 3, the so-called top 3 of North America. Obviously, Evil Geniuses, they don't like the name of that at all. They would rather it was a top 4. A win here could definitely go a long way of making that statement that they deserve to be up there. Also throw a huge wrench in the works of CLOUD9. We're still going to play G2 later on today. Big demo. Classics. Going to put that one straight over to Corrupted G. I actually would have preferred if Classics took the shot first time around. That demo player is not out for too long, and they come up with plenty of boost to really take back over.
Yeah, I actually like that concept. If Classics takes that shot there, even if it bounces out, that is then up to his teammate to sit back a little bit further, which is something that we see Corrupted G do as a save from Chrome. Allows them to breathe, but CLOUD9 still on offense.
Torment all the way up. Tries to get the block, but Corrupted G goes over the top of him. Now Squishy going to be forced to try and take his time, take the ball up high. Definitely have fond memories of Squishy Muffins up on that ceiling, scoring possibly the most famous goal in RLCS history. Classics looking for the tap down.
Still able to get to it first.
Corrupted G wants to go all the way out. Chrome though, recognizing that Torment was always going to be first, going to rotate all the way back. And all of EG are waiting. Here's Classics. Tries to get the block. Pull up from Chrome. He's just going to be tapping that one straight over to an awaiting Gimmick. I mean, taking to the air, you are pretty much committing that you're going to be taken out of the game for at least a tiny bit of time. So there usually needs to be a very good point to it. Either A, because you're trying to beat a player to the ball and take them out as well, or if you can try and get off the backboard with a passing play. That time around, Chrome was not really able to do either. Gimmick. Chrome coming out with a big challenge yet again. That can actually set up Corrupted G as Chrome wants to tap that straight over the top of Torment. Torment is being bullied a little bit more this series, more than he has been any other time. Not necessarily with demos either, as that can sneak all the way in. Gimmick couldn't be forced to come all the way back as once again Corrupted G tries to go for the block. CLOUD9 want to try and transition, but Evil Geniuses doing a great job of offensive possession right now, really searching for one another. This is become a midfield battle between these two teams. And Squishy, huge player from him. He's got Gimmick in support. Wants to go off the backboard. The follow-up from Torment. Every single player from Cloud9 involved, but the shot not quite there. Squishy, however, he is hitting the top corners every single time.
They just bleed you dry one after another. These players get pulled out of net. And then the precision, top left from Squishy. My goodness.
I said at the end of the last game, it was going to come down to execution. Both of these teams are getting a hold of the ball. They are not being wasteful. And it is 100% down to who can get the best opportunity at the best time.
Seems to be that the offense for Cloud9 is too much.
Squishy really feeling it this series. We go up high. Up to G with the follow-up, but Gimmick just shadows him all the way back. Classics can take his time, but maybe a little bit too much time. He's allowed Squishy to really come forward.
Despite bringing him forward, it doesn't even matter. It's almost as if they wanted to draw Squishy in and go for a counterattack. But as soon as that ball goes off, rotates, denies boost, and is immediately back on defense.
Classics all the way back yet again. He has to try to keep it close to the wall. He has done so. But even then, huge bump there from Squishy. And if Gimmick made contact, would have been another famous goal for Cloud9 as they put pressure on this Evil Genius's defense. But now Classics, he's going to be one-on-one against Torment, who just shadows all the way back. I love that there from Torment. Not only did he get the block, but he saved time for the rest of his team to get all the way back and put themselves in solid defensive positions.
There is something so beneficial about having a player back on defense that not only can you rely on to make saves, but also can buy time under that kind of pressure.
Oh, Gimmick looking for the flick. Crossbar down. Incredible.
We saw it in their highlights, and here he does it again, just giving way too much space. And a perfect flick, bar down. Saw him do it on Wasteland just a week ago. Doing it again here.
Now a minute and 15, Evil Geniuses need to really ramp up the gears if they want to have any chance of getting themselves back into this series. Of this game, I should say. The series is still well and truly in their hands. Gimmick trying to go off the backboard yet again. From a series where everyone is trying to go for infield passing plays to a series where everyone is just trying to hit the goalkeeper. Puts it up high. Classics wins the race. It's going to only be Squishy though. So good at just going laterally across his own field. Keeping the ball out from his side. Torment over to Squishy. Can't quite make contact, but Evil Geniuses having major problems in the defense. They are low on boost all over. I don't know if they can do anything about this, or unless a goal is more than a certainty, and it ends up being so. Gimmick picks up the brace.
Showing how much boost is needed as these players just dominating up on that field. Just one after another, just trying to clear it out of that corner. You saw it how long ago it was in that top left corner and just not able to get it out plenty of times. And it all started actually with Corrupted G. You could tell he was feeling that pressure. He tried to dribble it back up across the wall, but it ended up trapping on top of his car, which allowed that Cloud9 offense to just come in and punish him again. And then from there, they just broke down. No boost, no ability to clear it, and just one after another.
Absolutely. This game is still going, as you could see, though, from Gimmick's, well, I think his attempts at showing us his rotations, just going around in the circle, that we are just trying to sort ourselves out something very quickly. But there's still time to play in this matchup.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm looking at this one and just saying, Evil Geniuses, the defense needs sorting right now. The way that they're trying to play right now requires two players to go forward. But that meant that the third man that they have right now is just so uncomfortable that they're playing too far back, and it's leading into that exact thing we talked about when we came into this series. Do not give C9 space, because the moment the offensive chance goes away from them, you're 2v1 against some of the best duos ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say on the opposite and actually argue with some of it that Evil Genius is actually doing a lot of things right when they do give them space. There's plenty of times where Classics isn't going in for the challenge like he normally would for demos, and it's actually allowing them to maintain possession up on the offensive side. There's plenty of times where he's in the midfield where he could have went for a shot, and instead of contesting it, which is completely a waste of time, he sits, he actually backflips, and then is able to challenge afterwards. So they're actually doing a really good job of giving them space and challenging at the times that they need to. It's actually the only reason, in my opinion, as to why they've actually been able to maintain possession on the offense.
All right, well, we'll agree to disagree on that one, but there is only one thing that we could not possibly disagree on, and that is this goal that we're going to see right here. Gimmick in with his own dribble, and it was incredible, and it's just a thing of beauty.
Yeah. So you see
do stuff like this.
All three players back on CLOUD9 and then able to transition it. Despite those two players, neither one cuts across. In reality, that person on that back post, possibly Chrome, could have cut in here as Corrupted G tries to rotate out. Either way, as soon as you give him that much space, that's a great idea of him. I consider it kind of being in that limbo area where you're not close enough to challenge, but you're not far enough to make the save. Gimmick recognizes that and just punishes him for it with a beautiful flick.
So, looking at this right now, Evil Geniuses, their strategy has been with those infield passing plays, has very much been a case of, can they get it to work out? C9, they're just allowing it right now. I feel like they've got to a point where they're just going, okay, Evil Geniuses, you want to come forward, you want to try and give this to us. Fine. Commit forward. We are going to try and go for the counter-attacking plays. And it's very much become a case of both teams know what they want to do. It's now who can get the goals from that specific strategy, because they both very rarely, as I might add, in Rocket League, do we see teams just go, okay, I see your strategy, you're allowed to do it. We see it, we're going to try and counterpunch.
Yeah, it seems to be working out pretty well in that aspect. I think the biggest thing that Evil Geniuses could work on is those couple times where they are in defense. You can tell when they're under a lot of pressure, there's usually two sitting in net. And when it's just a complete shot on net and it's not very creative, very direct, not an issue. They've got plenty of people to commit to it, they make the save, and you usually get it out. It's when they start playing that siege-style offense that these guys really have an issue. One, because they just can't find a way to clear it out. They need to find a way for two players to basically work together and move it past that offense, because every single time it's getting shut down. A quick pass to the corner or something isn't going to work, because you know every single time Cloud9 is going to be there to shut it right back in.
Absolutely, and the one big thing I actually want to glean from that as well is even when Evil Geniuses are able to get people back, say they defend the initial counterattack from Cloud9, they have got players coming back who are low boost.
Right.
If even one big boost gets stolen from Evil Geniuses, you see the same sort of situation that we saw earlier on, where everyone from Evil Geniuses is flailing because someone needs to go for it, but no one has got the resources to try and take the challenge. So there's a lot of intricacies that we're seeing in this matchup, and both teams are happy to let it play out. It's
just so difficult, too, because the times that they do manage to maintain that pressure, or they do deny a boost from the Cloud9 side and then bring it back, it doesn't matter. Because as soon as they are, Cloud9 is then playing it up in those lofted aerials, and they have to go up and maintain with that boost, and by the time their boost gets respawned back on their side, someone like Squishy or Gimmick is going to come in and steal it. So a lot of it, and a lot of proponents coming into Woods, but allowing Cloud9 to keep this offense. Just Evil Genius is going to have to fight him for it. You saw a couple times where Classics was actually bumping them as they were trying to rotate back, just so they get that little bit extra time.
Well, in a match that was extended, we are going to be coming towards the final few seconds, as Corrupted G and the rest of Evil Geniuses will try and find a new way past, but now Cloud9 put themselves on match point.
Didn't expect pretty much otherwise, as there was only about 10 seconds left, but Cloud9 going up 2-0.
Well, this is a huge stat though, however, just sort of showing how dominant Cloud9 can be. That is the first time this season Evil Geniuses have been kept scoreless in a game. This is a team that has been free scoring all season long, finally kept to nothing.
I think it just goes to show, obviously, Evil Geniuses right now is trying to find a way into that top four, prove that they are the upper half, I guess, of these teams in North American League play. But for them, Cloud9's, in my opinion, still their first true test of the best of the best. Obviously, G2 is a phenomenal team, but they didn't even play, in my opinion, that well in that series. Obviously, they were still able to manage to win, and that's what G2 does, because the stats totally don't, you know, but back to Evil Geniuses, just they have a lot of options on offense, but I think Cloud9 is a team that really exploits them. You know, their midfield, a lot of the time, it's because of pass plays in between Classics and Chrome, and then Corrupted G just kind of sits back and waits. Yeah. They're just not able to do that. I think Corrupted G is kind of showing the difficulty of when he really has to be involved, the problems that this team can have.
Absolutely. So I'm going to put towards you a different question. We've had a little bit of a period there where we've had a bit of time down. What does that now do to these players, especially now that you do focus in so much, you do zone in so much, and to suddenly have that moment where you're just like, okay, we're not playing right now. We need to keep ourselves going. What do you think that might do?
In all reality, I think it doesn't really do anything for Cloud9. Cloud9's in a great position, extremely confident, playing happy. To them, it's just another bit of breather. At this point, they're just like, all right, let's quick deal. For Evil Geniuses, especially with the coach on the side, they have the ability to kind of converse and say, okay, what are the glaring mistakes? And you make them prevalent. You talk about them, just so it's in the back of your head, so when the game does play out, they know what they need to do to fix. It's just a matter of putting it into practice.
Squishy plays the ball straight out. Classics, though. Trying to move forward with the shot, wasn't quite able to do so. Corrupted G threads the needle, but it's going to go straight over to an awaiting Torment. Goes for the airloft, just allowing the rest of his team to really move themselves back. And Torment takes it past his own teammate. He's going to be one-on-one against Classics. Gets it up high, but he doesn't quite have the boost for this. Chrome putting it straight down. Gimmick will happily take that and punt the ball away.
Speaking of punting the ball, what a pinch.
Go off the crossbar. So close there for Cloud9. Evil Geniuses have been doing so well at scoring, but as soon as they find themselves behind, they've been struggling to try and really find goals. It seems like Cloud9 are just able to shut up shot every single time. Now Squishy off the backboard. Follow-up is there from Torment off the post. Now it's going to be Gimmick. All three members from Cloud9 attempt, but none of them able to find the net. And now it's Evil Geniuses over to the other side. Torment needs to try and look at his options. Instead puts it straight over to Corrupted G. Now over in the corner. Pro puts it off the wall. Did not want to be challenged at all, especially as the last man back. End-to-end to start us off here. Definitely seems like that break has done something to both these teams. We're not seeing intentional passing plays from either side.
Oh, it just seems like they're going kind of back to that feeler stage, especially with ones like that from Squishy. He's playing it right in the midfield, but nobody there to follow it up. Evil Geniuses normally was contesting those and playing very quickly. I don't think we'll see that kind of pace until we get roughly about a minute or two left.
3 minutes now. Torment trying to find a way past, but instead there's going to be plenty of time for Chrome to just take it over. Instead, he's going to leave it for Classics. Well, the try was catapulted with the flat Dominus. Yes, as you said, more and more end-to-end gameplay as we see either team just looking to see who will make a mistake. Classics gets crucial. Everyone needs to get back now for Evil Geniuses. No follow-up from C9, uncharacteristically defensive-minded. And that's going to be a shot. That is going to be a goal. Torment finds the angle.
Had two misses earlier on in this series, but that one, with that kind of angle so close. Most cases you don't expect those to go in, but still able to find it. Doing it alone, even if he doesn't make that one, you know the rest of Cloud9's waiting to swarm it.
So like Chrome was waiting, didn't quite think that Torment could have the shot until he was taking the shot, which one he was proven very wrong.
Great double by Classics.
It's going to open up some space as well for Evil Geniuses, but they can't quite do it. Torment slows the pace down to a crawl with that challenge. Now, just over 2 minutes remaining, Cloud9 looking to do what they've done every other time so far, get the lead and shut up shop. Squishy on the ball, wins the challenge and he manages to pinball the ball over to Chrome. He wants to try and take this into his own control. Torment tries the half flip. He's actually managed to keep himself wheel to wheel with his opponent. Evil Geniuses, though, they are trying everything. They're trying to get away through Cloud9, but it just doesn't seem intentional enough. A lot of it is hit the ball very hard. Now this time going for a passing play, because they have 100 seconds remaining. Still, Evil Geniuses in a good offensive position. Need to convert this to a good offensive chance. Chrome could have that chance. Turns it in. 1-0.
Look at the things that EG is doing up on offense. First pass to Classics. He decides instead of shooting it, he traps it down, brings it to his teammate. They're getting more creative on offense, and it's forcing this Cloud9 team to kind of back up a little bit. Really well done to tie it up here.
All fair just left Evil Geniuses in that situation. Just off the camera, I could see yet another player who would typically be going back, half rotating. They knew they were a goal down. They knew they needed goals. They didn't care if they went 2 goals down. That was their opportunity, and they took it.
Just seems to be what Rocket League is about nowadays. Are you willing to go for that risk-reward play? Can you make it happen? Do that against a team like Cloud9.
Up to G. Classics, he wants to keep going hunting. Gimmick leapfrogs the attempted challenge and then gets the save. Well calculated from him, looking for the infield pass over to no one. I just don't think he wanted to allow Classics to move forward with his own challenge. 2 players from Evil Geniuses both jumping for that one. Up to G, up on the wall. He's got it past. Can he get it off yet again? He's going to move all the way out. Classics takes the ball away from him, and now Torment looking for his own passes. C9 starting to get the wheels turning yet again. Maybe finding more and more gaps as Evil Geniuses rotate back more and more. I want Evil Geniuses to keep playing this as if they're a goal down, because the moment they give possession over to C9 and allow them to control the field, they will get caught for it.
So dangerous playing that aggressive, because all it takes, one mistake and the Cloud9 counterattack game will come out.
Looks to put it up high. A goal that could send them to a tiebreaker. That's going to go all the way long. Squishy's going to race against the clock. Can he do it? He will! Cloud9 take the victory. He scores, he leaves, he knows he's done his job.
So disheartening.
And he's out of there.
For this EG team. Playing from that goal down like you mentioned.
Yeah, don't
that
take
kind
my
of
advice ever
mentality.
again, boys.